Good morning, it's 5:15 and welcome to day 3 of cycling from near Bath to near Dundee. It did start raining at 5 a.m, so I did pack up and now I'm going to go off into Kirkby Lonsdale, I believe it's called, to find a bus shelter or something to warm up a little bit and just sort of let myself wake up and set off when it's a bit lighter. There's no point starting now, it won't be enjoyable. I'm slightly annoyed that the rain gods didn't let me have my way, but there we go. I will catch up with you later, give you a bit more information. I'm in the market square of Kirkby Lonsdale, attempting to dry out my bivvy bag a little bit. Now the reason I can't really stay around too much when it starts raining in this is because it's not like a tent where there's a fly sheet and there are 2 layers of fabric. It's just 1 layer of waterproof fabric. But when it starts raining, you've got to close it up, otherwise you get wet. And the problem when you close it up is that you start getting a lot of condensation on the inside from your breathing, so you get wet anyway. Now, while I was in Argentina, I was researching into getting a tarp, which would essentially act as my 2nd layer of fabric, but I didn't end up getting one. I was sort of banking on it being fairly okay weather. So when things start to get a bit rainy, just for the sake of, not destroying a sleeping bag or a sleeping mat with all the condensation inside, because it is a big problem actually, I just get up and leave essentially. This evening, I'm thinking about staying around Moffat, and it's raining all day until about 5-6 p.m, in which case I might be able to sort of make do with this and just camp with this, right? Especially seeing as it's the last day, as long as it's not bucking it down with rain all through the night, I should be okay. But I've also identified a bed and breakfast a bit further up the road, should I need it. So I'll give them a call and see if they've got a room later on, just in case, you never know. Anyway, I'll catch up with you later. I'm currently in Carlisle, some old bit, seat above for decals. This morning's been a bit of a mixed bag actually. Leaving, what was it called? Kirkby Lonsdale, really grim. You climb up and it's windy, it's wet, it's cold, really quite nasty. But then I made it to Penrith. I was very graciously allowed into a cafe. I'll put the name here because they were really lovely. They let me sit on a towel on one of their nice chairs. Had some really nice South African food, tea, and then I had a, what's the thing that's hot chocolate and coffee? I had one of those because I needed a bit of caffeine. My bike's going to get blown over. No, it's not. And I stayed in there for probably about an hour warming up and, getting ready again. And then it started to clear up a bit, so I set off. And since Penrith, I've been absolutely motoring because I've had a tailwind all morning, that's one good thing. And made it to Carlisle a lot quicker than expected. Stopped off at a bike shop where I pumped up my rear tyre, had a couple of bananas, had a lovely chat to the man in there, so that was really nice. And yeah, I think the coffee really helped because I've been high as a kite since Penrith, having a really good time despite the weather. I've also booked myself into a B&B for this evening. It is meant to clear up at about 5-6 p.m, and I absolutely would camp this evening. I managed to dry my things out enough, but I'm in such a state, my legs are so horrible that I just need a shower. It's just too disgusting. I'm probably not very healthy to have all this road grime on me. I don't know, it feels like a shame not to camp, but yeah, it's booked now, and yeah, the only thing is I'm not allowed in until 9:30, which is when they get back from rugby training, but I'll figure something out, have a bit of dinner beforehand. So yeah, I mean, I'm just over halfway through today, feeling pretty good, and I've only got about 240 kilometres left of this whole trip or something like that, which is my bike, kind of crazy. So yeah, I will catch up with you later. I'm very sorry for the lack of B-roll, but the weather is quite bad. There's nothing too nice, and the wind makes it a bit sketchy to take my hands off the handlebars. But yeah, catch up with you later.
Hello. I've got about 25 to 30 kilometres to go. I'll be honest, I'm absolutely cooked. I think the cold this morning took quite a bit out of me. And I just want to go to bed, I'll be honest. But we're nearly there. I've stopped a couple of times since Carlisle. Once just over the Scottish border, didn't film the sign because it was pouring with rain and only just saw it as I went past it. And a second time in Lockerbie, just had a cup of tea. That was about 25 k's ago. And I'm cutting a bit out, not going via Moffat, and I'm just heading straight for where I'm staying. I'm quite cooked, I'll be honest. My knees are actually doing all right. They've been really sore today, but they're not too bad. I'm just really tired. It's been a tough day, been a long day. At least the sun's out for a bit. So, we'll see.
As you can probably tell, I didn't record this last bit yesterday, simply because I couldn't. The last 40 kilometres yesterday was really hard, particularly the last 20. The wind started blowing in the wrong direction. I think my body just decided it didn't want to work anymore. So my digestive system went, my knees went. For some reason, my legs were still working, but just not very well. I was really in bits. My feet, I mean, when I took my shoes off, were like shriveled prunes because obviously they'd been a bit soggy all day. I was just so tired. It was really painful. That some of the hardest cycling I've ever done, I think. And it wasn't so much that I was in pain, although I was, because the chafing became real. But it was more just that I was getting really frustrated that the road surface wasn't really a road, and I just could not push any harder. I had 20 kilometres left and I just could not go. But I guess that's the reality of doing well over 100 miles 3 days in a row. And then also I was reminded, I woke up at 4 yesterday morning, which is not conducive to riding for a really long time until about 8 p.m. I know I had big breaks, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully today is more successful. And if you do want to watch day 4 of this trip, make sure you like this video, comment if you have any questions, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned.